this so I don't forget. Okay, guys, I'm really excited about this. I think Brooke, maybe you're the only one I've never met on a webinar before. So hello, Brooke. Welcome to our team. I know I've seen your name, but never really seen your face or been introduced. So my name is Renee, and welcome to our team. So this is your very first call, and I'm just really excited, you guys, because like the summer times are extremely busy for me, for everybody, baseball games, softball games, you got swimming, you've got all kinds of stuff. Your kids are out of school and it's really hard to find time. And, I kind of was like thinking I wasn't going to do these calls anymore on a weekly basis. But then again, I was like, I really miss you guys. Like you guys are like my battery pack, like just speaking to this team and being around. That's something I want to talk about tonight. Part of our Maxwell group is what we've been learning is about surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people that want to see you succeed. And I just thought, you know what, like who cares like how busy we are? Who cares how many people show up? I seriously miss you guys. I want to record them. I want to talk to you about your struggles. I just want to stay in the loop. And I felt with doing them once a month that I wasn't really fulfilling my role as a leader of this team. And I know that many of you have questions and you need inspiration just like I do. Like when we talk about personal development, really plugging into events and going to events is big, like Summit and to our quarterly events and things like that. Those things are big, but those things they're only like once a year, they're once a quarter. So, like for me, I have to every single week, every Monday or every Tuesday or something, surround myself with people who like fuel me up, like who breathes life into me. And my business, my team, that fuels life into me. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, gosh, if I feel like that, then, how does everybody else stay motivated? How can I expect them to stay motivated if I feel the same thing? Like, I feel like I need to have my battery charged, and you guys are like that way of being able to help me. Like my class, like when I go to class, sometimes I'm tired when I go and teach my PIO class, but because of the fuel that I get from them and the energy that I get from them, and just seeing them like succeed, that fuels me up again. Like tonight, like I'm super pumped to talk to you guys. I just have so much more passion when I'm around people that I can be inspired and I can help inspire. So I just really wanted to make sure that we get back to the weekly calls with Team Succeed. And we're hoping that you can, always join us on Monday nights. Tonight was a little different because we had a call. Sorry, my kids may be coming in the door here pretty soon. But, tonight, we had a call, so I had to do it a little bit later. So I apologize for anybody that's I guess there's nobody really on the East Coast right now. So I'm just want to make sure that you guys know they're going to be at 8:30 Central Time every Monday night. Unless we have a call that comes up. We don't really know when some of those calls are going to be, when they show up. Just mark it down in your calendar. These calls are really important for me, and I just feel like most of our team that comes to these, I can help be your battery pack, like charge you up for the rest of the week. How many of you guys, like it's, being in this business is tough because we hear a lot of people that want to drag us down or criticize what we're doing or make fun of us or how about say no? We all get those no's. We get a lot more no's most of the time than what we get yeses. And when you're getting that stuff and you're not recharging and you don't have somebody breathing oxygen back into you, it's really tough to keep going. It's really tough to continually be inspired. And so these calls, I'm hoping to bring myself as well as other leaders on this team and some other people I'm seeing succeed, come and talk to you about what's working for them. What are some things that they can help you out with? How can you learn from them? And so on a weekly basis, we're going to have these calls. And I'm really hoping that is going to be your go juice for the week. Because when you listen to the National Coach Call, when you come to these calls, when you listen to somebody talk about something that you're passionate about, when your battery's dead, this is the stuff that keeps us going. Am I right? How many of you, Debbie, for instance, you've been coming to a lot of these calls. You know, when you plug into these calls, when you're a part of something like this, how much more does that fuel your fire? Like, how much more gasoline does that pour on your, you know, your fire for the rest of the week? Maybe just speak on that. Like, seriously.
A lot. I was just actually going to type in the chat and share that I probably would have, I mean, seriously, quit the business and gave up, and because I felt defeated 6 months into the business because I felt alone and everything. You know, you got 2 no's or whatever for the day, but because of the team, because of Renee and Katie and offering these calls, yes, it takes a lot of you know, power behind you to log in and be on these calls. It takes time from your family and stuff, but the bottom line, it keeps you going, and it is helpful, and there's a lot of helpful tips, and it's good to know that you're not alone.
Absolutely. You know, like Sam, I'm not going to say you've been out because you just haven't been plugging into the business, but I'm just going to say, you know, like, I don't know if you were, you know, what you've been doing in terms of the personal development and tapping into some of these things. So just from another perspective, how has it made a difference in your business now that you're a part of these things versus like, not that you haven't been, but that you've been sort of disconnected because of the, you know, everything you've had going on and whatnot. So maybe just touch base on that a little bit.
Yeah. No, I mean, you definitely feel like you're on a deserted island, and that you don't feel like you know what the heck's going on. And that's part of my fault. Like, seeing everybody's faces, you definitely feel like you're part of a team, and I've been missing out on that just because of my commitments. It's always on nights that we do this. So I'm happy to be back to it, because it does. It's when you guys see someone else like you that's inspired, or other people that are having great success, you know, or just even hearing struggles, you just, you know, you're not alone, and you know, you have a team backing you instead of just standing alone. So
absolutely. Okay. All right. So let's get to the major things that I wanted to talk about. So, you know, Summit is coming up right around the corner. I know several of you are coming, and I honestly can't believe that it's June already. It's the 1st of June, like July 15th is when I'm headed out to go down there for the long, you know, half of a week, a long weekend, I like to say. But it's a few days, and you know, there's still time for people to be able to go. I know there's several people that are leaving out of Lincoln that are driving down. I'm flying locally and headed out on Wednesday, and so I'm just really looking forward to the many different things that are coming up with that. And so one thing I do want you guys to know, to be aware of, I'm sure you got the email today, was what the Challenge Pack specials are for the month. For new coaches, this is really important to know, because you know, you use these specials. It's not just about like the, you know, the discount or whatever. It is really about, like, some people use the challenge packs to go back to people who have given you a cost objection and let them know that it's $20 less expensive than it was last month. Some people run their challenge groups strictly around them, and that helps them decide what challenge groups they're going to run for the month. But ultimately, it has to come down to the right decision for the customer and what their needs are, and what, you know, what program fits their you know, their interest level. You really can't, if somebody you know, if somebody you know, let's just say the 21-day fix isn't really fitting them, but you're shoving it down their throat because it's a challenge pack special, you know, that doesn't meet the needs of the customer. You have to put the customer's needs first and figure out what their interests are. You know, maybe they hate weights. Maybe they want something less than 25 minutes. Maybe they really hate female trainers. They don't want to count their cups. Like, if they're giving you that stuff, don't just say, hey, but it's a special. You know what I mean? Like, just use that as maybe a way that you can help create your challenge packs for the month, or your challenge groups for the month. But anyway, the 21-day fix is the challenge special of the month, and there's many different varieties. So you have the challenge pack with the 21-day fix, and then you have the 21-day fix extreme challenge pack. Both of them are the same price. They're both $140, regularly $160. So those have been discounted. And then you have the Kickstart Challenge Pack. So both of those programs, the 21-day fix and the 21-day fix extreme, they have what they call the Jumpstart or the Kickstart Challenge Pack, and that basically is just adding a 3-day refresh to the package. So they get the program, they get the containers, they get all that stuff, but then they also get a 3-day refresh to get them started. So it's a great way for them to, get a jump start, see immediate results in 3 days, and then they can get on with their meal plan, their workouts, stuff like that. So that's what it is. And really, I know why now that they're doing that is because that was my next thing, is that Autumn's coming out with a cookbook, or already has a cookbook. And I'm really excited about it because, I struggle myself, like figuring out sometimes how to stay on track with the different containers. And so, you can go to Pinterest, and your customers can go to Pinterest, and you can use one of our meal plans that we have available for you that we've created, and know kind of what the containers are. But how amazing is it going to be to have a cookbook? And I'm just going to be honest with you, I wanted to have enough time today to listen to the National Wake Up Call to get all the details. Was there anybody? I haven't been able to do it. I tried to get on earlier today, and it wouldn't let me on. I was probably too late, and it was over flooded. So was anybody able to listen to that call yet today to get some of the details? Because I was talking to Desiree early. I'm not really sure if that's going to be a Beachbody product that we can offer in terms of commissions, if it's going to be part of challenge packs. Did anybody listen to that? Damn it. Sorry if there's any kids around. Okay, well, I don't know. I'm going to go back and listen to it probably tomorrow morning. You guys, I'm not really sure exactly if that's going to be something that's just going to be offered as an upgrade with a deluxe kit. If it's going to be something, I'm sure you're going to be able to, purchase it through Beachbody. I'm just not sure if it's going to be something that we can offer, our customers as a product or whatnot. But it is going to be available for coaches at Summit, so you can pick it up there, along with the new supplement line. So the new supplement line is coming out July 15th or 16th at Summit. You have the 4 new supplements. You have the Hydrate, the something else. There's 4 of them. There's a pre-workout, there's a during workout, there's a post-workout, and then there's Hydrate. I think that's the one that you take at night that helps replenish your glycogen stores and stuff like that at night, like your hydration and stuff like that. So there's 4 different supplements. It's going to be the performance line that's coming out. So you'll have even more products to be able to offer your customers to be able to achieve their goals faster. So that is, and then of course we also have Size that's coming out, which is the new workout program by Shaun T. So that will be available to Summit attendees. And then usually what happens, you guys, is the coaches can purchase it at Summit. And then last Summit they released Insanity Max 30. So I think it wasn't it? Was it Max 30 last year? What was it last? PiYo. Okay, so you can pick up PiYo, and then that Sunday they opened it up to everybody else, or Monday. So you're gonna have it you'll probably be able to purchase it yourself if you're not going to Summit. Probably that Monday or Tuesday. It just depends. I don't know how they're gonna release that, but that's coming up. The Size workout program. So I'm pretty excited about the Size. I'm really excited about the new supplement, and I'm even more excited about the cookbook because that's where a lot of people struggle. I mean, it's easy. You can go to Pinterest, but who has time to sit there and, Pinterest today, all day? It's overwhelming. Pinterest, gives me heart palpitations. I just want to, there's so much, information overload. Is anybody else like that, or is it just me? I look at it and I'm like, I feel like an incompetent mother most of the time. I don't even know, anybody else, who comes up with this stuff? Seriously, who has time to do this stuff? It just gives me, I don't even know, hives. I'm itching already. I look at it. Okay, so, any questions about any of that stuff before I get into kind of what I wanted to talk about tonight? Because I have about 12 minutes left, and I am going to respect your time, give you that, and then you guys can open up for questions if you would like to. Anything that you guys have questions in terms of the supplements, or I don't know anything about prices. I don't know any of that stuff. I just know that it's coming out. Okay. All right. So tonight, my main thing is as of, a couple months ago, there's about 12 of us on this team that decided to invest some of our time and our money into John Maxwell leadership calls. And we have since had 2 calls this year, 2 out of 12. And they have been seriously really informational, really motivational, inspirational. All the alls at the end, they've been really good. There's been many of us who have been participating in that. We have group calls. So one of my main things for myself is to teach more of what we're learning in those groups and get more people to understand some of the things that we're learning. So taking the information and learning it, absorbing it, taking a few things out of that and teaching it to you guys. And one of the very first things that we were learning is what they call the ACT plan. It's ACT. So write this down. When you come on these calls, when you listen to the National Wake Up Call, when you listen to some sort of training, one of the things that really overwhelmed me all the time was, what do I do with this information? Do I have to do all of these things that all of these coaches are doing? Because every single week on the National Wake Up Call, you guys, there are literally like 10 to 20 different tidbits that you could take out of that call. And it was like Pinterest. Like a lot of times I'd get overwhelmed, like how many coaches are doing things differently, and how many, people who are doing other things that I felt like I needed to do that. And it was sort of chasing the squirrel all the time. And I wasn't really ever getting anything done. And so one of the things that John has been teaching us is how to measure or create a method of growth and change within your business, within your life, within whatever. And you can apply this to your business, to your fitness, whatever you want to do. But it's called the ACT plan, and it's an acronym for action, change, and teach. So one of the things that one coach after one of our calls last month talked about was when she listens to a call, when she listens to a National Wake Up Call or one of John Maxwell's calls, what she does is she takes out a booklet. She has one booklet, you always, I have in the past, and I don't even want to show you my desk right now because I'm still trying to clean out things and go through things, but I literally would have piles of papers of notes, oh my gosh, where was this note? Where was this note? I know I wrote it somewhere, and sticky notes all over the place. And one of the things that she does is she gets out a journal, a notebook, and she keeps all of her notes in one notebook. And one of the things that she does is she opens that up, and she leaves herself 2 pages prior to the call before she writes the notes, so that she can go through her notes and she can decide what is she going to A, what is she going to C, and what is she going to T. And what action, let's just talk about the action step. So one thing that John says to do is to write out all the things that you on your notes, okay, go back through your notes after the call, go to your blank 2 pages and put an A at the top, okay? So go through your notes and write beside everything that is an action step. Okay, what is something that you think is really important for you to act upon? Okay, what is something that you can change right now within your business or with your fitness, and put an A by everything that you feel like you can take action on. Okay, so then what you're going to do is go through your C's. What are all the C's? What is something that I can change in my business right now? Okay, and you guys. Then the T is teach. What are the things that I can take out of my notes and go out and teach somebody else? Some of you have, coaches on your team. What is something that you can take out of that National Wake Up Call, or what is something that you can take out of this call and teach that to your team? And that's one of the things that I've been really pathetic about, is taking the information that I'm learning and passing it along and teaching you guys how to do the same thing. So that's what these calls are going to turn into, is a learning experience for me and turning around and teaching you guys how to do it. So what I want you to do is write that down. When you go through the notes, when you go through this call, when you learn something, I want you to go through all your notes and go, what are my A's, what are my C's, and what are my T's? Okay, and then what I want you to do is take those A's, C's, and T's and number them as priority. So A1 is the number 1 thing that you're is an action step, or apply. Is it apply or action? Apply. It's apply. Gosh, Renee. Anyway, then what you're going to do is take your C's. What is something that I can change? What are all the things that I want to change? and categorize them from 1 to however many. Number 1 being the most thing that you need to change right now. And then back through your notes, figure out what your T's. What is something that I can teach my challengers? You know, if you don't have anybody on your team yet, what is something that you can go back and how can you add value to somebody's life by teaching them something that you learned today? Okay? So apply, change, and then how can you go out and inspire somebody else to do something? And you can even do that in your, you know, if you read something, that how can you go out there and share that and add value to someone's life? And that's a whole nother, you know, call that we can talk about, is how that you can live your life intentionally by helping other people. But that's something that I really want to share with you guys tonight, because, you know, when you go through a national wake up call, how many of you guys have done this? Like, you get off the call and you're like so inspired. Like, you're so inspired, there's so much stuff, you want to go back and listen to it, and then you just like kind of forget about it, or you don't really know what action steps to take. You know, you're not really sure which direction to go. You like go through your notes, and I'm like, holy crap, like there's so much stuff here. So what I want you to do is to learn to take that and apply it to the calls, or apply it to our team calls. What are the things that you can apply? What are the things that you can change? And what is something that you can teach somebody? I want to show you guys what I have done with mine. Because, you know, one thing that we have been learning is that if you're not doing it every single day and you don't have it written in front of you, what your A's and your C's and your T's are, how easy is it to forget them, what you're doing? You know, Summer Tucker, many of you guys know who she is. She, we have these calls together, and she wanted to know what our C's were from last month. And about 90% of the people had to go back to their notes and look at that, because they had forgotten what they were supposed to be changing, right? So one of the things is to always keep that in front of you. So I have this little planner called a planner pad, and I have it every single week. I write in my A, my C's, and my T's, what I'm focusing on for this month. So for me, it's what can I apply? And that's adding more value to people's lives and being more duplicatable. How can I, every day, add value to somebody's life? That's one thing that I'm working on and applying. The second one is changing, is living intentionally. Be more intentional with what I'm doing with my business and planning more of my life out than just leaving it by chance. Because how many of you say, oh, I'm going to work my business today, but really don't put a concrete time down on what you're going to do during those hours, and pretty soon it's like, oh my God, I just spent an hour on Facebook and I've just been doing nothing but scrolling through news feeds. You know, you don't have to admit to it because everybody does it. I know it. It just happens. Okay. And then the other thing is teach the ACT plan, which I'm doing now. I need to teach you guys how to do that, because, you know, there's so much information out there. I want you guys to know that I want you to pick out 3 things that you can focus on for the next week. Okay. Figure out what can you apply from tonight or from the National Wake Up Call. What can you change about your business? What can you do? And what can you go out and teach somebody else? Okay, any questions on that? Okay, for those people who are on the Maxwell calls, give them some ideas. You know, Jackie, what is something out of your ACs and your T's? What are you changing, or what is your your apply?
The first month it was to have a workplace that I was free from distraction. And then this month it has been focusing on the task at hand.
So being present in the moment. Like, is that what you mean? So for instance, I'm doing this because
instead of trying to do 5 different things at one time.
Yeah. Why I'm doing this is because I want you guys to have an idea of some things that that I know everybody struggles with, and that is really living an intentional life, like sitting down and scheduling out when you're going to work your business hours and when you're going to set out your invites. And when you sit down to invite somebody via Facebook, you're not scrolling the news feed at the same time. You're not sitting here checking your messages on your phone when you're supposed to be inviting people. You know, or getting up and going to the kitchen to eat while you're supposed to be inviting. Like, if you only give yourself an hour to work your business every day, you need to be very diligent about what you're working on during that time. Okay? And that's something that I have been working on, because I have been that way. I have been a multitasker. Like, I will be sending out invites, and then I'll also be writing down my contact list. Or I'll be messaging somebody that just popped up on my news feed, like, or popped up in my messages, and I feel like I need to be responsive to them right away. And you don't have to be responsive to somebody like that, okay? So if you're focusing on inviting and you need to do more of that, then you need to be in the moment. So, Jackie, what is something that you've been doing to be in the moment?
Losing my phone.
Oh, no.
That phone is horrible.
Yeah. Here's one thing that I've been doing. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but you don't have to have Facebook Messenger on your phone. You don't have to have the Facebook app on your phone. You don't have to have that stuff on your phone. So here's one thing that I've been trying to teach on my team is that you do not have to be on Facebook. You do not have to be living your life sitting there waiting to respond to people. Okay? Set your hours of when you're going to look at that stuff, because one of the things I can tell you from experience is that I was always felt like I needed to respond to somebody who was asking me a question about something like right then and there. And my kids were sitting right here, or we're watching TV together, and I'm taking that time away from my kids, the thing that matters the most to me, for something else. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you sitting there on Facebook responding to somebody when you're supposed to be being with your kids. What you should be doing is working your business when you have set that, and your kids and your family will know this is when my business hours is. This is all I'm asking for. Okay? But don't be on your phone all the time, guys. You don't have to respond to everybody just like this. If the only times that you have set in your schedule is 8 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever time you have to get up to get your work done, your business hour, your power hour, then that's when you do it, and maybe at night. You know, I took off the news feed off of my desktop. So when I log into Facebook, I don't see anybody's news feed. It's amazing. It's amazing how much less drama I have in my life and how much more intentional I am. It's a Google app. You can go to Google, type it in. It's called Newsfeed Eradicator. And I don't even, because so then I would check I'd be there for 30 minutes, like looking through people's stuff, and I would, oh, that's a cute picture. Click like, and I would all do these things, and I wouldn't get anything done. It'd be like, I've been working for an hour and I've done nothing. So living intentional. Debbie.
Wake up excited and get rid of the distractions and adding more value to people, anybody in general. And I just have to say that on tonight's call, Tracy had to hit it on the nail, just right, nail on the head, I guess is what you would say. I don't know whatever that saying is, but anyways, she hit it, and I was just like, yes, exactly. Adding value just by complimenting someone on something that they did or wore, not expecting to get something in return.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I liked it tonight. One of the things that one of the coaches that talked about it was actually Joey, and he said he teaches his team to live each day with intentionality and to do 2 things every single day: is wake up and ask yourself 2 questions. That one question are, what are my intentions for today? Okay, what do I want to achieve today with my business or with my fitness or whatever it is? Write those things down. And the second question is, how can I add value to someone today? Okay, those 2 things. What do I want to get done? What is my intention for today? And what can I do to add value to somebody else's life? Those are 2 things that he has his team focused on. Get up every day, write it down. Write it down. Put it on your computer. What do you want to get done today? Is it your power hour? Is that what you want to get done today? Do you want to send out 10 invites today? Do you want to, drink 90 ounces of water today? Whatever it is, be intentional about it and just do it. And then how can you go out and add, value to 2 people every single day? Okay. Des, you want to share something that you have been working on?
My main focus, I guess, has been working on keeping distractions away in those times that I have set for myself, and sticking to my list. Before in the past, I've had a list of people to invite, and I would get to the bottom of that list and I wouldn't have the success out of it that I wanted to have. And I would just say, well, I made a list, I stuck to that list, and that was it. And I just gave up. And now I have started just, you know what? There's still more people out there to help. There's still more to do. I can't give up so easily. So I started adding more people to that list. I mean, why not? You know, and my groups, what is that app? Facebook groups manager.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that has been a lifesaver for me with keeping my groups organized and my team page organized, and not just wandering all the time, because I was just sucking up so much of my time. And I have been focusing on adding value on my page for just posts on social media, and then focusing on adding value to my people on my list that I'm wanting to invite, and then adding value in my team page. And then 2 to 3 times a week, adding with that value to my team. I am trying to teach them something. It may be from the Maxwell training, it may be from the team call, it may be from just my daily devotional, just putting that in there, and then having them expand upon that. So that's where I'm at.
That's awesome. And Des has grown a lot, like in the past 2 months. Like, she literally has. I mean, everybody I see grows, but Des has had like this light bulb go off, and it's been really cool to watch her with this. So I just want you guys to sit down and think about that. Like, how can I go out and add value to your team, or how can you go out and add value to a challenger? Like, maybe they haven't chimed in for a day or 2 or 3, and you just need to follow up with them. Hey girl, I saw you're doing this. I'm really excited for you. Good job. Or, just something like that, because you don't really realize how many people don't have that positive encouragement in their life on a daily basis. A lot of people do not have that. They just don't have that. So for you to reach out, most of the time when people are on Facebook, you're reading about how awful someone's life is. I mean, honestly, I don't really miss it that much. Or, you know what I mean? Like, most of the time it's like people complaining about something, or, somebody not doing something right, or like the internet not working, just stuff like that. And so when you have somebody that reaches out to you, when you're generally trying to develop that relationship with somebody, is how can you go out and just say, hey, I love your hair. Like, it looks great on you. Or, I love that shirt. Where'd you get it? Just asking them questions or giving them positive encouragement can always go a long way. So that's what I wanted to really talk to you guys about, was to teach you the ACT plan. So what can you apply? What can you change? And what can you teach in the next week or so? How can you do those things? What is something that you know that you need to do? Because procrastination is one of the enemies of success. Okay, procrastination. I'll just go through them real quick. Distractions. So the enemies of intentional living, keeping us from living a life that we want, are procrastination, distractions, letting your emotions get involved, small thinking. Are you still thinking down here like you can't help anybody and you're only going to help one person a month? Or, small thinking things. Instant gratification. If somebody says no to you, the very first invite you send out, you're like, well, this doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm just done. Like, are you expecting this to be a $1,000 a week business in 5 weeks, and you aren't putting forth the effort? If you're not putting forth the effort and going out and doing the work that needs to be done, you can't blame anybody but yourself. You cannot expect you to be doing what you want with your goals. It's like your fitness. Like, it's like, I worked out today, I drank my water, and I ate well today. Where the hell is the 20 pounds? Like, 20 pounds needs to like fall off right now. Like, right? That's like instant gratification. I'm sorry, Georgia. I forget. Sorry, Georgia. Oh yeah, you have a head. Never mind. I'm good. So it's that instant gratification that can really be an enemy of intentional living. and living by other people's agenda. Okay? Letting somebody else dictate your schedule, and what you're doing and what goes on your schedule. Those are the things that are a big deal. So procrastination, what is something that you can change this week that will propel you forward, either with your fitness or with your business? What is something that you can do this week? Okay? So I'm past, but I'm going to open it up. And if you guys want to unmute yourself and ask a question, if you want to celebrate something, since the last time we since the last time we talked, we have like quite a few rank advancements. So we've, Debbie, I can't remember if we had a call. I can't remember the last time we actually, I think we've had a call. Debbie went diamond, Jackie went diamond, and Desiree went diamond. It's pretty freaking amazing. Like, that's awesome. And Kaylin, she signed up her first coach, didn't you? And Alicia, did I get it right? Alicia, I forget. Alicia, 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 Alicia? Alice. Alisa. Lisa, I never get it right because you can like say it so many different ways. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a hard one.
Alisa, like Alyssa, but Alisa. Okay, got it. She signed up like a coach too, didn't you?
She hasn't signed up yet, but she's going to. She's kind of a procrastinator.
So you gotta teach her about procrastination. It's a killer, man. Okay. Anything else? You guys have any questions? Brooke, do you have any questions as a new coach?
Yeah, well, I have one. I'm just wondering, I want to start inviting, but since I'm just getting started, what am I inviting them to? Am I inviting them to the June challenge group with Jackie? Am I inviting them to start in July? Am I just inviting them in general to hear about it? Like, what do I?
So Jackie, I have a group. I mean, you can start a group whenever you want to. Like, you can say like, okay, like focus on one program, and like Brooke, you and Jackie can start up a challenge group on your own. So what you're just inviting to them is just to listen to more about what you've got going on, like just a general invitation. Hey, I don't know if you guys knew this or not, but I just recently started my own fitness journey, and I'm really excited about the opportunity of helping other people, looking for some people to do this with me. Would that be something that you'd be interested in learning more about? And then you can like go into that conversation. Jackie, have you showed her those invites, the invite training with Summer yet? Like some, like just general scripts that you can use?
I've been watching the.
You've been in that group.
Yeah, I'm in that group, and I'm watching all the videos and stuff.
Here's what I have always kind of lived my life by, and I don't know if it's like not good or not, but it seems to be working, is that I just invite, I put myself out there, and then I figure out what I'm going to do. You know what I mean? Like, I just be like, hey, I'm starting this group coming up. I'm really excited about it. This is the program we're going to be doing. And then be like, okay, I got to start this group now. Like, just like force yourself to do it. Don't wait for July. Don't wait for the end of June or a specific date, because, life is happening and people need to have their lives changed. And so don't worry about a specific date. Like I can choose when I want to start mine now. Like I have enough, that stuff going, but when you're a first new coach, like in my thing, and this, I'm not going to say this is right or wrong, but I'm like, say yes and figure out the details later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I've just started doing was like, just what I started doing as a coach is like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm really excited about it. This is what we've been doing. We've had a lot of results. Would that be something that you'd be interested in? Just starting with a general conversation, ask some questions, and then you can say, would you be interested in like learning more about that? You know what I mean? Like giving us more details. And there's that invite scripts that Summer has been teaching us and using that are working really well for a lot of people. So just follow those scripts and just, make them a little bit different for every person. Make it sound like Brooke when it comes out and not Summer, not something that you wouldn't say, Those, you guys, that was one thing that I'm going to talk about next week, is that invite training and how to utilize it and how to, how to kind of customize it a little bit. But if you guys have not gone through the invite training, we're going to be starting that up again pretty quickly in the next week or so. This has literally, like, Des and I were talking about this earlier. The invite training is really money. I don't want to say that to sound like materialistic. I'm not saying. I'm just saying it's been very effective for people, because as a new coach, I know what it's like. You're like, what do I say to people? Like, how do I start a conversation? What do I focus on? And if you can literally take that information, take those scripts, and just, you know, figure out how many people you're going to send out invites to, how many new conversations are you going to make every single week, and you could literally figure out what works for you. But for me, Mondays, I really focus on my invites. Mondays and Tuesdays, half of Tuesdays. I'll just send out a bunch of invites, okay? And then on Friday are my follow-up days. So just copy, paste, and send it to people. Get it done, get it out of the way. Like, if you don't have, like, you don't want to do 2 a day, you know, like, it drives me crazy. I can't just do 2 a day. Like, that's not me. So on Monday, I'll send out a bunch of invites of people that I have on my list that I've generally created that relationship with, and then I'll, you know, follow up with them if I haven't heard from them on Friday. So I have an invite date, and a Friday date is my follow-up date. So if you guys haven't looked through the invite scripts, if you are in the group and you haven't been utilizing it, go back and do it, because it's seriously working. You have objections, you have how to start the conversations, how to deal with Shakeology, how to handle, you know, oh, I don't do shakes. Like, what do you say? Like, it's right there for you. Copy, paste it, make it a little bit you, and then send it off. They're working. They're from Danny Johnson. You know, this team is big into Danny Johnson, and some, you know, stuff that Summer and I and the rest of the team have learned along the way that you can use, that we know work. So don't recreate the wheel. Just use the invites and send them out. Jackie, would you agree with me on that? Jackie's got some good ones too. You know, you guys can just tweak them together and figure out what works for you. But once it works, just go for it. Invite them to anything at this point is what I would recommend. And maybe that's not what Jackie's teaching you, but that is what I do. I've kind of like failed forward. Like, to be successful, you know, I just failed forward. Get into that mindset that fail. The more times you can fail, the better you're going to be. I know that sounds screwed up, but it is. The more you can screw it up, the better you are. Seriously. Nobody likes perfection. Okay, guys, anything else? Oh my, I just got to be a short person. My chair just went down. Anything else? Otherwise, I'm done. I really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you so much for coming. And I did record it, so if you want to go back and listen to it, you can. Okay? Mark on your calendar right now. Be intentional. I'll see you next Monday night, 8:30. Okay? All right. Have a good night, you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.